This isn't you, Cancer. You're being asked to make a decision, and with the Two of Wands coming up is where we reach a crossroads. We've been going down a path. That path has naturally ended, and now we have two or more options of where to go. And the Two of Wands advises us to go in a different direction, something that we've never done before. Why is that? Because it's wands, it's creative energy. And I always imagine if, say, the Page of Wands or the Knight of Wands were standing at this juncture, what would they do? They would pick the path less traveled, the one that was brand new to them, to give them a new experience. And I can tell from your cards that you want a new experience. So with the Two of Wands coming up, now that's the kind of push-pull here. Because I say you want a new experience, because on the one hand, we have this pain or whatever happened in the past, because that's what the Three of Swords is. We all walk around with three swords in our heart. And I try to explain the Three of Swords very clearly when it comes up. So if someone doesn't want a long explanation of the Three of Swords, you can skip ahead to when I hold up the Temperance card. You'll see it on camera. But for everyone else, the Three of Swords, we all walk around with three swords in our heart. Now, it's important for you to know this because it is at the heart of your reading. It's what everything else revolves around. And it's really beautifully depicted in this card, because if you have a look, she's got three swords there in her heart. But is she saying that that's what's causing the pain? Because she's been coming here every day. Have a look. She's putting flowers on this grave. She's put a lot of flowers on this grave, right? So she's been coming here a lot. Now, those three swords represent some wound, some pain that we have, some story. It might not even be our story. It can be our parents' relationship, something that happened at school. And the example that I always give is, say, for example, I don't know, maybe I was a fat, ugly kid or something, right? And I got bullied for it, teased for it. And I might have grown up and now I'm not fat and I'm not considered ugly or something. But that is still a wound that I carry, because I remember what it was like being that fat kid that was bullied, right? And so you might say something to me like, Jay, are you going to wear those jeans, or something innocent? And it doesn't always have to be that way. I'm just giving this as an example. And it might really hurt me. Why? Because one of those swords is that fat, ugly kid. The story that I held from there, the pain that I'm still carrying around of that. So even though what you've said, you might have said it in jest, you might have just been joking, but I've taken it, it's hurt me. Now that was the trigger. You can't change the trigger, but you can change what was triggered. Why is it hurting, right? And so the Three of Swords is always an opportunity to remove those three swords whenever that pain comes up. Now, how we do this in everyday life is, have you ever been, you've changed jobs, you might have gone to different companies, but it's like you're in the same job. The same thing keeps happening. Someone keeps stealing your work, or, you're not getting the credit that you want, or the same office politics take place. And you think, why does this keep happening to me? Or you change relationships and it's like the faces change, but the relationship's the same. It's like, why does this keep happening? It's because we're carrying around these stories within us. And that's why I'm always always be very mindful of the stories that we tell about ourselves, because that's our truth. That's why I never dispute what anyone says. Whatever they tell me is their truth. That is the truth. That is the story that they are telling of their life. Now, I feel for some of you, well, I think for most of you, the option that's coming up here, the direction to take, the reason why it's pulling you, and you want to make the decision. It's not the Two of Swords where, you don't want to make a decision. You realize that there's a choice here. There's an option to go in a different direction. But some old pain, some heartache, some loss, it might be that the decisions come out of this, the most recent heartache or pain that you've had. But it's asking, do you want to take those three swords in this new direction? Is that what you want to do? Now you have Temperance coming up as a past energy, as a foundation energy. Now this is, I kind of feel like whatever this option is that's coming in, you've waited a while for it. Temperance is a card of patience. It's a card of moderation in all things. And you always see this angel here who's balancing out, pouring the contents out of these cups into the other. And to me, it's almost magical. It's trying to create the impossible, trying to make the impossible possible. That's how I see the Temperance card. It's a card for Sagittarius. So it's what's going on with your experience. And I kind of feel like whoever this message is for, and it may not be for that many people, the messages that have been coming up have been quite specific. It feels like you've been trying to get your life balanced out, get your house in order, trying to figure out, you're not working too hard, not playing too hard. I think it's something that you've been waiting for, whatever this chance is, opportunity or choice. You couldn't do it in the past. You were trying to balance things out. Now the chances come up, but some old pain has cropped up. That's what I'm getting with that Three of Swords there. However, it serves you because that's where the choice comes in. Because have a look, we have the Four of Swords here. And if you see, this is always someone they're taking a break, right? Could be a temporary break. So for some of you, this was a breakup, the pain of a breakup. And this can then be a temporary break. You know, you've been resting, you've been getting your everything in order. I don't know, like whatever that caused that pain, breakup of a relationship, a fight with a family member, loss of a job, something that happened, something difficult that happened, right? This is painful. No matter why the pain is there, it is painful. There's no sugarcoating the Three of Swords. It's a difficult energy. But if you have a look at her, she's resting here now, right? Because she's removed the Three Swords. Do you see the Three Swords lying around her? Because she's removed them. So she's done some inner work. She's done some self-work. So I kind of feel like this is a week of a breakthrough. That's what it kind of feels like. And it opens up a brand new direction for you that maybe you couldn't take before because of this. Because of some old trigger, some old pain, some old loss even. So with the Four of Swords there, she's removed those. She has one sword left. That is her sword of truth. A new truth is born out of this. A new truth. Now, there's no shame in the Three Swords. We all walk around with Three Swords. And trust me, you can remove 3, you'll get another 3. You know, that's the kind of cycle of life. That's how we grow. And it's always like that breakdown to break through. But this is a week of rest. Or at least part of the week. That's kind of the energy here. Tarot timings are weird. Some of us kind of fly through the energies. Some of us take our time with them. But it's okay if you feel like you need a break, you need a rest. This is that kind of energy. I don't want to fight anymore. I'm putting down my weapons, you know, allowing the dust to settle, allowing fresh energy in. And swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, and how we communicate them. So there can be no communication. When the Four of Swords comes up, it can be, I don't really want to talk to anyone. Because you're considering which direction to go in, right? But that is healing energy, the Four of Swords. Healing in mind, body, and spirit. And boy, do you need it after this Three of Swords here. And it's something that's been going on for a while, but I feel like this is the breakthrough. This is the week where the breakthrough happens. What happens after that? What happens once you allow, you know, the dust to settle, or the energy, you allow your energy to reset almost, I see with the Four of Swords. The Six of Cups comes in. I'm going to get to that in just a moment because I want to talk about the Five of Swords because that's where we go, right? Have you ever wondered why in the Five of Swords the person is willing to do whatever it takes to get what they want? Because this is quite ruthless energy. It's someone who they're willing to do anything. That's why it's seen as ruthless. It is conflict, but they've taken a rest. They've gone through this energy here of working through their issues, taking a break from that, you know, to heal from this heartache and pain. And of course they come out gunning. They come out gunning with the Five of Swords, right? So remember this, it's a general reading, so the energies can go both ways. But I do feel like there is some, like I keep saying, that some old trigger, some old pain, and you'll know what it is for you. Or if this is someone that's central to your story, you'll understand what's going on with them. Because that's what happens when the energy flips, when it's not our energy and we're understanding it from the other person's point of view. It's to aid our understanding, the person that's watching the reading, right? So Five of Swords can be conflict. It's if you have a look here, she's been stabbed in the back, but he's kind of looking back ruefully. And I always wonder, why is he looking back like that? Is he looking back because he's thinking, I should have taken those 2 swords as well? Or is he thinking he feels bad that he had to do that to her? Some people see the Five of Swords as, you know, doing whatever it takes to prove that you're right, even if it means losing people or, you know, that kind of thing. But I don't get that for you. I don't get that for you. What I'm getting, feels like a return to yourself, especially when we see the Queen of Cups. This is the advice, right? The advice here is, what are you willing to do to get what you want? That's what it is. And the Queen of Cups coming up here, this is a return to you. This is a return to self. That's why. And coming from a heart space. This is all thoughts, ideas, the stories that we tell about ourselves. But this is a return to self if we have a look here. And the Six of Cups says that too. It's nostalgia. But think about it. It's sitting right underneath the Three of Swords. So if we're looking back at the past, if we're looking back at whatever this loss was of this tombstone that's here, Whatever that loss was, think about the Six of Cups. When we look back with nostalgia, it doesn't hurt, right? We have our rose-tinted glasses on a little bit, which is not actually a bad thing sometimes, especially if we are haunted by unhappy memories. And this feels like a clear out. And have a look here. I think Aries got something similar to this. The only major arcana card that you've got is Temperance. So this, major arcana is, it's the larger energy that goes on. The minors are what we do, our day-to-day experience of life. But Temperance here, it kind of feels like whatever happened, you were forced to take a break, to pause, to consider, to, make sure that you were, I don't know, if you were focusing too much on a relationship, you might have lost that relationship. Or, if you get working, maybe you lost the overtime. It can be that. Sometimes the universe gives us a helping hand, doesn't always feel like a helping hand, to say, hey, go consider what's going on in your life. Go consider your experience of your life. Where are you missing out? What is not getting equal attention, the same as everything else? So there is a break here. And I do want to say with the Four of Swords, it can be, you've had the flu. It's the break after the flu, or a spa day, or taking the weekend off. Or so, it's that kind of energy. It's you take a break from whatever it is to heal from this. You do come out gunning, but it's a return to self. It's a return to self. You're now coming from a heart space because that heart space has been cleared out. The Three Swords have been removed, right, from the heart. And so with the Six of Cups coming up here, let's get you one for that Six of Cups. I haven't really been clarifying, but when a reading calls for it, I will do it. The Six of Cups is a return to innocence. It's before the loss of innocence, that time before the loss of innocence. So it is that kind of rekindling of the innocent you, before this pain took hold, before those stories took a hold, right? Why is the Six of Cups here? Five of Pentacles. All right. So it's to do with where you were left out in the cold, some form of rejection. The Five of Pentacles is the poverty cards. It can be financial poverty or it can be emotional poverty. Now, I know this looks very difficult. And I would say it would be very difficult if the Four of Swords wasn't here and the Six of Cups wasn't here. I kind of feel like you have a new understanding of whatever this rejection was, whatever this loss was. Because have a look. They're the same person. Have a look with their hair. They have their hair the same way. It's the same person. She's gone back to her younger self, and her younger self is giving her a gift, which she walks away from. So this can be revisiting an old dream. The kind of downside, and every card has an upside and a downside. The downside of the Six of Cups is when we look back and we think things were so much easier in the past, right? That my happy days are gone. I'll never be able to revisit those. And that's not the case. By revisiting those happy memories, by remembering a time we were truly happy, we actually can use that to manifest into the future, going forward. Because that's a gift from her younger self, right? But yeah, it's to do with something here, a time of lack, a time when you had nothing. Now, whenever fives come up, and whenever this kind of energy in general comes up, and trust me, I've been reading for other people since 1996, so I know when something like this comes up, it is because a new turn is coming. A new cycle's about to begin. We're about to step into something new, and the Two of Wands says that. But you don't want to take any of this on that new journey, right? So this is the week to clear it out. And it's a return to self. That's how you come back to your heart space. Thank you so much to everyone that's been there with me. Whether this is the first video that you're ever watching of mine, or whether you've been there with me from before YouTube was even a thing in the Aquarian Insight world, because I've had my website for quite a few years now. Some of you followed me on there when that was all that I was doing. I'm so blessed that you guys are all a part of my journey, and totally and completely honored that you would make me and my messages a part of your journey. I never take that for granted. So I love you guys very much. I will see you next time, but that's all for now. Goodbye.